This is Katie Hunter from MMA UK. I'm here with Rustam Isajev. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for doing the interview. We're going to come to your amazing trophy cabinet in a minute. Excellent place to do the interview and lots to talk about. Let's start off at the beginning. So you're from Grozny
Yes, Chechnya. That's right.
and you now live in Norway. So tell us about growing up in Grozny. Is that where you've got a really strong wrestling pedigree? I assume that's where you first learned to wrestle.
Well, I was pretty young when I was in Grozny, so I don't remember much from there. It was war. We moved to Kazakhstan. I don't remember much from that time, but wrestling I started in Norway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was 5 years old coming to Norway. Uh, our neighbors was also from Grozny, and they were already training wrestling. And they asked me one day if I wanted to join. So me and my two older brothers joined them, and yeah, from there we just started training and competing afterwards.
So what age were you when you started wrestling?
I was 6 years, 6 years old. Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. And you've won a huge array of trophies and titles for wrestling. Do you want to
Yes.
tell us about some of the big ones?
Well, I competed in one of the biggest tournaments in Sweden or in Europe. That was in Sweden. I came third place there.
Yeah.
I also competed in Denmark. Got a first place there once. And back then I was pretty young, so I couldn't attend to like all the big shows because I was too young.
Yeah.
But Norwegian championships, first place, second place. Uh, yeah, many tournaments in Norway as well. Like
And
big.
when did you move on to other martial arts? Because I saw that you've also competed a lot at Muay Thai.
Yeah. When I turned 12 or 13 years, our club had some issues, so we had to shut down.
Right.
So I didn't want to stop training, so I started first kickboxing for a year. Then I went over to Thai boxing. I didn't compete those years. I was just training just to stay in shape because I loved working out. So I started to Thai boxing in a year. Then I was just going to fitness, like working out, lifting weights. And 2 years after that, the wrestling came back to Larvik. That's where I'm living. And my old coach, Jan Andersson, my coach at that time, wrestling coach, he started up and I started to train again when I was 18 years. So it was very difficult to me start competing again because all the kids where I was competing against, they have been training all those years. Wrestling,
Yeah.
I hadn't. So I started. I went to like 5 cups, I think. I won 3 of them. I got a third place, and I went to Norwegian championships that I lost because at that time I didn't have a lot to spar with because a lot of my friends had moved away. Not many was training with me wrestling, and at that time I knew I would try something else like MMA.
Yeah. And so,
Yes.
so when did you realise that you could combine the martial arts experience that you had and train in MMA?
Well, when I was back in wrestling, I started to help my coach, like assistant. I was assistant coach, like helping my coach when he couldn't. So I started to train those kids. And
Yeah.
my current coach, he used to come by with his son to train wrestling. So it was one of those days I talked to him, and I was like, I heard he's opened a new gym. I wanted to try that out. Yeah, I heard he had Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, he had MMA, he had Thai boxing. So yeah, we talked about it, and I went to train one time. Then I really liked it, MMA. That became a huge thing. I also liked MMA from before, even though I didn't train it. I watched a lot of fights, YouTube videos, UFC, Bellator.
Who
Yeah.
were the fighters that you most admired?
Well, it's always been Khabib.
Yeah.
He's a humble fighter. I like him. Also Nate Diaz, pretty good fighter as well. Tony Ferguson, Daniel Cormier. I like those fighters, yes. And,
Yeah.
yeah. John Jones, yes.
Apart from what he does outside of the cage.
Yes, of course. But my absolute favorite, that has to be Khabib.
Yeah. And you're 3-0 in MMA. Tell me
Yes.
where those fights have been, because it's pretty hard to track down.
Yeah, the first fight, it was in Norway. It wasn't a hard competition. It was like a training fight, I would call
Right.
it. Even though your opponent tapped out, they would just stand up, continue the fight. It was just to get knowledge inside the cage. So, yeah, that was my first fight in Norway. Second two fights, it was in the tournament in UK, in Birmingham, where I won. I was also competing in the grappling tournaments. So I was competing in MMA and grappling. And grappling, I came second place. That was my first grappling tournament ever. So the guy I lost gold medal to, I met him in MMA as well in the gold finals. There I beat him. It was not a lot of striking because he was a grappler. I found out pretty quick because the moment I got into him, he always lay down to the ground. So I always had to try to hold the top position because I couldn't do any mistakes because he was pretty quick, like trying to do triangles or arm bars. That's how he caught me in the grappling fight. Yeah. So yeah, I
In
had to just
armbar.
yeah. That's how I lost the gold finals in the grappling. So I was just trying to stay defensive, trying to hold my position on top, kneeing a little, punching from top. So yeah, I won by points. The second, then the fight before gold final, it was I don't know where he was from, but not to be mean, but he was kind of inexperienced. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I won that fight in the first round with armbar. A lot of striking as well. The second they got down to the ground, I got the armbar, and yeah, I won that fight.
So your next fight is at Battle Arena 56. You're fighting for the vacant lightweight title against Lewis Wood. It sounds like that could be quite a big step up in quality of opponent for you. How do you see that fight going? What do you know about him? What are you expecting from the fight?
Well, I watched some of his fights on YouTube. There wasn't a lot to watch because all of his fights were like 1 minute 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won first fight with knockout. He's a pretty good fighter, and I think this is the biggest fight for me yet to attend to. But I'm training a lot, strength and conditioning. I have a coach here, strength and conditioning coach Knut, always helping me with conditioning. He comes to the training center, helps me using his time, helping me out. Of course, my coach's coach as well, Jan. He used to coach my coach.
Right.
He helps me with the MMA and grappling and stuff before a fight. So yeah, big shout out to him, helping me towards every fight. He used to come to me before my first fight as well, before England. He always comes and help me, and yeah, he helps me get in shape and learning different tactics and yeah.
And who will you have in your corner on the night?
It will be my head coach Christopher Haim, and supposedly I think Knut will also come, my strength and conditioning coach, and maybe my brother. We'll see.
Yeah.
He's working, so he's trying to get time off to come. Yeah, hoping for the best.
Well, shout out to Christopher for arranging this interview. He was really
Yeah.
keen to get you on and show you off to the world. So
Yeah,
big shout out to him.
yes.
Before
My
we
coach, he
move
does
on,
everything for me, so I'm pretty grateful.
should we have a look at some of those awesome trophies behind you?
Yeah, I could show you some. Some of those are football, so yeah.
Oh wow! What's the
That's
big
like
one on the
this
right?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Barcelona. That's a football trophy. But yeah, like this one is from Norwegian Championships. Like Let's see, the big one in the middle here.
Yeah.
And this one is also from Norwegian Championships.
Wow.
Also this one, third place in 2008. I've had a lot more. Some of them I've taken to my club where I train.
Yeah.
So in here I have some glass trophies. This is also from Norwegian Championships back in 2010.
Be careful with that one.
Yeah. As you can see, I've already smashed one of those.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's okay. I have many of those. Yeah.
I wanted to get them in because your coach was pretty keen to do it, to do the interview at your gym or in front of the trophy cabinet there, where I think quite a lot of the trophy cabinet is down to you as well. So it's great to show those off and put the fear into your opponent. So what else are you looking forward to about the fight? How long will you be over for, and what will fight week be like for you?
Well, I'm hoping the fight will last longer than 1 minute. Of course, I want to. I want him to know my pressure. I'm a wrestler. I would like. To, I was gonna put my pressure on him. I'm gonna push him towards the cage. I'm gonna do my best. I won't get so much into details, but yeah. My plan is to like pressure him all the time.
Yeah. A
And
big
that's
pressure.
where my wrestling comes in, yes.
Awesome. And one more thing I wanted to ask you about before we go, just because I'm so fascinated by it. I saw that you put a post about Ramadan on Facebook.
Yes.
I've got some friends who are training around Ramadan. I've got one friend who's training at like midnight every night at the moment. I just wondered, when you're training for a fight like this, how you manage to work around it.
Well, this year I haven't participated in so much in Ramadan because
Right.
my first fight was like in 11th May. I was fighting in Muay Thai Contenders. It was like 1 week into the Ramadan. So
Yeah.
I had to like work out pretty hard, and it was like tough trainings. I had to jog every day, every night. I had like 4 training sessions a day. It was pretty hard. So I was talking with my mom about this. She said I could take it up later when I was
Right.
finished fighting as well.
Yeah.
And the same deal right here now, because I didn't know I was gonna get this big title shot before I got it. So
Yeah.
it was a big opportunity. So I thought I would rather focus on fighting now, and later this year I'm gonna fast.
That's
Yes.
awesome. So we're wishing you the very best of luck. For
Thank you
June
very
the
much.
8th is your fight. Fighting for the vacant lightweight title at Battle Arena 56. Where can people tune in if they're watching from Norway?
And there's gonna be a link, I hope. If not, I'm gonna send direct from my phone, or like I usually do. I always send direct from my Facebook or my Instagram. But I'm gonna let my people know all the time. I'll let them.
Awesome. It was so great to speak to you. Thank you so
Thank you
much
for
for doing
having
the
me.
interview. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it, and best of luck for the 8th of June.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, bye.